Hello. Module 4 is just around the corner, so I thought I'd make a little video to talk about that. So let's have a look here. So this module is about misinformation online. I'd almost argue that it perhaps could even come before Module 3. Module 3 or Assignment 3 was really looking at bias in online content and materials. This assignment is about really identifying out and out lying. So I'm not sure which really comes first, because a lot of our biases and opinions are formed by what we read. So if we're reading bald-faced lies, then our opinions and biases are going to be completely misinformed. So you might think that Module 4 should have come before Module 3. So at any rate, it's not, so we'll move along. The point of this assignment, you can actually do the readings. There's the YouTube video on Break the Fake, very interesting. It looks at a variety of ways to tell if online information is true or not. And as it points out, it's very difficult often to tell without doing anything with it, just by looking at an image or an article. It's hard to tell if it's true or not. So there's a variety of tools in that video, a couple of examples. And again, I mentioned in last video, Julius Caesar's conquest of Gaul. That was also very much, wasn't really misinformation, but was certainly stretching the truth, apparently, in many of his accounts of what happened. Anyways, the point of this article, which I'll jump down to first, is to apply a variety of verification techniques, which you'll find in the video, and then really talk about those, to articulate those practices that support good online citizenship. And how do you do that in a way that you can create a teaching tool for your own students? So the comic that you'll design is that teaching tool. So if I come back up here for a moment, you're going to create and share a brief educational comic, 6 to 12 pages. It's a bit frames. It's a little bit confusing because here it says 1 to 2 pages, and then if you scroll way down, it says 2 to 3 pages, but really it's looking at the number of frames. So you look at the news story, which comes from the fake news handout. There's a few here you can look at. I've read through a few of them and then tried it myself. It's really quite interesting. What tools you use to determine the validity of that article, and it's quite possible you only need one. So if you do only need one, it's useful to look at a couple others to see why you didn't need them, or if you could have used one or another tool. So there's a bit of comparison that could be there. This third bullet I was really a bit surprised at, because it says, what strategies, if any, should social media companies use to stop users from spreading fake news? I'm just curious, and you may or may not agree with me, is it their responsibility? We kind of thought or think it is, and we see now in our neighbors to the south that a lot of these social media companies are now getting rid of their fact checkers and so forth. Because if you think about, say, Fox News as a giant media corporation, I don't have a good Canadian example, they have politicians and very prominent people on all the time. I don't want to share too many political opinions, but spouting things that are heavily biased or quite patently false. They were sued and paid without appeal a $787 million libel case a year or 2 years ago now. They didn't even argue about it. They just paid it and got rid of a few of their newscasters. So they're quite clearly know and acknowledge that they're spreading lies. So if they can do it, why are social media companies singled out to do that? Anyways, that's a bit off topic. So you're to figure out how you could. Another point to consider with the social media companies is, can they stop users from spreading fake news? As we've seen with my example from Fox News, the line between fake news and real news is very blurred and very difficult to know. This really highlights the importance of what we're trying to support our students to learn, is how do we discern the truth or a truth or some sense of truth out of what we see online. Could present to your own students some way to verify what they're looking at online. And so, as I said in my responses the other day, one of the things to consider is your own teaching context. So do something that's suitable for your level of students, whether you're in high school, higher education. We have a number of grade 3 and 4 teachers in this cohort for some reason. So make sure it suits your own students so you can, quite possibly reuse it for your actual teaching. So yes, that speaks to bullet point number 3. So I guess that's that. Anyways, it's a very interesting activity, and I look forward to seeing your work. Thank you.